My name is Licha Dimum, and my testimony is actually not my testimony. It is mine, but then it came to me through my father. So, my father has been here in this church a few times. If you have seen him, his name is Licha Sarah. And last year, around the month of February, I still remember the date, it was February 25th, when my father was diagnosed with brain cancer. And we were devastated. We were completely devastated. We were completely broken. And at that time, our family was not into Christ. We did not know who Jesus was. And then, he went through his operation and all. After that, even after the operation, after his recovery, we went to recheck-up. We went to do the recheck-up and all. But then again, the results came out even after the operation, the tumors were still growing. It was a very aggressive form of, very rare kind of tumor, and which was very aggressively growing. So after that, our doctor suggested us to do radiations. Go through radiation, chemotherapy and all. After that, we went through a month of chemotherapy, radiation, all thing together. We were here and there scattered. And then even after that, our results came out bad. It was bad, okay? Even after the radiation, even after the chemotherapy, the tumors were not stopping. It was so aggressive. It seemed like it was unstoppable. If you... since I have seen the MRIs of my father's brain, I could see the, tumors all gulfing around his brain. It was like, it was spreading like roots. Like, let's suppose that this is brain, and then his entire brain was like covered with tumors all around, and it was bad. Okay, I was not a believer at that time when the doctor told us this, that your father has only 3 months to live. Only 3 months to live. And I was not a believer, but then still we had all these people from churches, pastors, all these people coming into our place and praying over my dad. And I was saying, but then I was not believing, because entire 20 years of my life, I spent my life without believing in God, without stepping into the presence of God, without coming to church. So I did not know who I was. So I called myself an atheist. But when I heard that news, I was so hopeless, so broken. I was so helpless. I had to kneel down. I had to kneel down. But then still, without faith, I had to kneel down and ask God, okay. That night, I remember, I was like, God, if you are real, show me that you are real. Show me that you are real. Show me that you exist. Show me that you love us. But then, I was still not able to believe it, because I felt like I have sinned too much. My father has sinned too much, because speaking very, very honestly, I'll be very raw about this testimony. My father was a sinful man. He had all his power, he had all his money, but amidst all this, it made him prideful. It made him a very prideful man, and it made him astray from God. He forgot to thank God for all the financial support that came into our house. It was because of God, and he forgot to do that, and he became prideful. Okay, prideful of his own strength. He was standing on his strength for too long. And the next day, we went to the hospital again, and it was like first experience that I had with God. The next day we went. I did not go. Okay, I did not go, but my family members went, and then they came back, and they were so happy, and then they were like. Because earlier they told us that my father would live for 3 months, but then the next day they came and told us that my father has at least 5 years to live. At least 5 years to live. And I kneeled down and thanked God, and I knew that it was him. At that moment I surrendered. I told my family to surrender, that God is real, He is moving. Our journey started there. And then after that, after chemotherapies and all, we kept on praying through every treatment. But then we were weak, but then still clinging on to who God is, who Jesus is. We were clinging on to Him. And then I remember last year, around this month, my father was declared, he was surrendered by doctors. We were told that take your father to your home, like spend his last moments with him, make him happy, spend his last times, like, you know, like keep him happy in his last moments. We were broken again. But then I remember in that room where the doctor told us that thing, I don't know, I was filled with strength, okay? I'm not that I have a heart of a chicken, okay? But then that day, honestly, that day I was like, when the doctor was speaking things like your father has just like 3 to 5 months, again the same thing, and I was like, I cancel it in Jesus' name. I did not say it aloud, but then in my heart I was like, I cancel it in Jesus' name. I cancel it in Jesus' name. I rebuke the word of death from my father, from my family. I was speaking that, and when I left the room, I was like, God, I know it was you, because I am not that strong. The strength that I had in that room was from God. And then we did not give up. Still, we did not give up. We were like, I told my mom that, Mom, this is just a trick of the Satan. That he is trying to, you know, like, just push us away from God again. But we will not stop here. We will not stop here. And after we came back from Delhi, we directly went to this fasting center. And another miracle happened there. So, my father was told that he will not be able to stand again, walk again. He lost his speech. They told us that he won't be able to speak again. He will be able to speak again only when he receives the surgery. But then, we went there. We kept for fasting. It was a one-night fasting. And after that fasting, after the fasting, the next morning, my father started walking. He walked into the church for the first time. He started speaking without any surgery, without any operation. He did it. And praise to Jesus for that. He was not declared cancer-free. He still had a tumor in his brains. So again, you know, treatments went on. But this time we went to Chennai. And this time, when the reports came out, all his tumors disappeared from his head, from his brain. It is nowhere to be found in the MRI reports, okay? And imagine somebody, like the doctors, the science, the medical, the hospital, they said to us that 3 months, but then it is completely gone now. How is that possible? Like, how is that possible? This is not something that medicals can do. This is not something mere human hands can do. This is the hands of God, mercy of God. The only thing that was coming to my head, like, God, you did it. God, you did it for us. You finally showed us that you love us so much, even through our sin, even through all the times we have hurt Him. He has done it. And I asked God, who are you? Who are you? And in the spirit, God told me, I am who I am. I am the beginning and the end. It was that thing that I received when I was questioning who you are. And God told me, do you not think that I could have done that in just एक चुटकी में आकर उसको हम कर सकता था God उसको, but क्यों नहीं किया? So when I was questioning that thing, God answered again that it was to build up your faith. It was to build you. It was to make you patient. It was to show you that my timing is perfect and that nobody can riddle with my timing because He is the creator of time. So yes, this is my testimony. This is my testimony and my father's testimony and my family's testimony. And after this, I long, like my family longs to serve God, serve Jesus with every fiber of my being. Every fiber of our being. We yearn for Jesus in our lives. Because He is our soul protector, provider. He is the one through whom all the good things will come into our lives. So yes, and this is just an encouragement for everyone, every brother and sister present here, that come to Jesus, run to Jesus. His arms are open. You know, like to hear about all these stories are it's a different thing, but to live in it, to live in that testimony, to live in the goodness of God, it is a whole and it is worth, and this feeling is worth, this love is worth every heartbreak, every tears, every breakdown, every bad reports. Because all of those things led us here. Satan thought that he had us because of that cancer, but God showed us that you bet. God was like, you bet to Satan. He was here with us, and I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful. So this is an encouragement. Even if you know someone who is suffering, in their spiritual health, physical health, mental health, emotional health, bring them to here. You don't have to be like, Jesus. You just be like, I know a place, let's go. Like that. And that, it's just, your job is just to bring them here. They will experience God here. It is God's job to do it here, and then God will do it. So yes, this is my testimony. I hope you are all amazed by how amazing our God is, how marvelous our God is.